All right, thank you. Yes, okay, so couple things that I wanted to mention before we jump into the prizes and matches. First of all, there are still some profile pages that could use a little TLC. So if you don't yet have your fundraising goal on your page, there are a bunch of folks who hadn't yet gotten to that. Please do add that. It will make your page more compelling to donors. And so that was the first thing. The second thing is give your page a quick read to make sure that donors can understand it if they don't already know you. I was looking at a few pages this weekend that were great. And I should say, these are all looking fabulous. These are just some picky things that I can't help but mention just to make it hopefully all the better. But there are a couple that I saw that looked like you, they were written a bit from a little too much from an insider's point of view. So just be sure if you're using any abbreviations or if there needs some context to include a line or so of text about that. The other thing is, if you haven't added any pictures and could still do that, that would be great. And we have a few folks that have like where it has those subheadings, Instagram gallery or media gallery, and there's nothing under it, like you're not using the gallery. That's fine, but it would be great to then delete that subheading. So just a couple of like quick housekeeping things. I'm not suggesting you do a ton of more work. And if you need any help with any of this, we can help you. So let me know. And I'm happy to help you, Mitch's, and we have others too. So just a few of those things. And then the Instagram isn't linking. Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I don't know. So sorry, I'm Tamara.
Yeah.
Hi. I don't know if anyone else. Okay, so I see Allie saying,
it's actually fixed now. They just got back to me on Friday, so you should be able to upload your Instagram gallery.
Okay, so it was a glitch so they didn't just fix yours, it was like an overall thing that they fixed?
I think so. They said
okay.
The glitch is fixed now. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Okay, that's all for me.
No, thank you for bringing that up, Tamara. That's great. And it looked like Facebook. Oh, okay. Somebody said that Facebook is linked. Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, if you see any of these things coming up, let us know. And I will say too that we may refer you, if needed, to Mighty Cause tech support, and don't be mad or sad if we do that, because we want to make sure that we're getting to everything that needs to be in there. If you could just mute yourself. Okay, perfect. Okay, so those are the things, and I'm getting a couple notes of people who, yes, just email if you need any help with this, and we will get you the help that you need. We have 2 last workshops after today. We have one tomorrow with Trevor Blair, who is going to be doing that career checkup for the fundraising professionals. We've got a lot of folks registered, and if you haven't registered, we're going to put the link in the chat, and would love to have you if you want to join us. So that's just, it's a great opportunity, and there you have that. And the last office hours for marketing support will happen this Friday, I think at 1 o'clock. So if you want to go to those, that'll be what we have going on. So those are my last general announcements. Lauren, any announcements from you? Nope, just okay.
No, I think sorry, to your point, Sharon, I said no. I shook my head no.
No, it's okay.
I think everybody at this point, being like a week-ish out, should just go to their profile, to your point earlier, and just check everything, right? Like, oh, somebody was going to fill this in but didn't, or oh, we were going to put that up, we all, so it's probably a good idea to do a 1 week out check just to make sure everything looks the way you want it to look.
Yes. Okay, great. We should start seeing lots of great marketing and communications. So you're going to see ads on Cox, iHeartRadio. The billboard is going to go up on Highway 8 with San Diego Gives. The public radio is going to start, or they have been. That's what Lauren was saying before, that they've been playing a lot of ads. So really hoping that all of this will keep us going. Okay, I am going to stop now and turn it over to Lauren.
Okay, you guys. Well, good to see all 95 of you. That's crazy and wonderful. So we're last year we were able, if you were part of the campaign last year, we were able to do about $10,000 in matches. This year we have 53,000. So we've like we tripled the numbers of nonprofits. We I don't know the math, quadrupled plus octupled the money that we had for prizes and matches. So we just wanted to, last year we also sent an email 2 days prior, and we got a lot of I don't understand. I don't get what you mean. What does that, a lot of not understanding things. So we really thought this year, one, we'd do it earlier than a few days before. So it gives you time to plan your day around them, but also walk through and explain them, and then hopefully answer any questions so that there's no confusion. So this also speaks to why it's super important to do the nonprofit surveys, which you guys will get on the 9th, and turning those in, because that's how we know things, right, need to be done differently. So yes, I'm going to share my screen. I have a little slideshow. This slideshow will also be uploaded on San Diego Gives University, just like they all are. So this, will be shared. The recording will be posted on the website afterwards, probably by either later today or tomorrow morning. And then the slideshow will be also. So if you get to the point where you're like, I don't remember what Lauren said about that, or I don't remember the specifics, then you can go to the page and find them. So let me just we'll start. I feel like somebody's going to come off mute here in a second and tell me how to do that on Google Slides or whatever this is.
I think you can go to the right, the top slideshow, and click there. Oh.
Sorry, you guys. Okay. So before we get into each one of them and specify, detail them out, we just wanted to, with $53,000, the goal of what we do with it and how it looks was based on distributing funding against or across as many organizations as possible. So the goal is not that one nonprofit gets 53,000 or anywhere near it, right? The goal is that with all this money that we've fundraised and received, that as many people get to participate and receive funding from it. The goal was equity. As you'll see, we're segmenting opportunities by nonprofit budget size. So instead of saying the nonprofit who receives X, and if a small nonprofit, you're like, there's no way everyone else will have more of that than me because I'm a small nonprofit. The goal was, we're going to segment that. So if you're competing for a match or a prize, it's with organizations of your own size. And if you're not sure what your size is based on what you registered, there'll be a link in the slideshow. Mitch, I should have given it to you beforehand, that you can go check. We're going to offer opportunities throughout the entire day. So not just, at lunchtime or dinner time, but literally start to finish. And some of them you'll work for. So some of them you'll, plan campaigns or plans around to work for to receive those prizes, and others are just going to be completely random, which is also wonderful. Hold on one second. So what are matches and prizes? Matches, so just explains, we're doing matches and prizes. So again, before getting into them, it's important to say what they are to start off on the right foot. So matches would be money that match donations you've received. So if you receive a $100 donation, that now is a $200 donation because it's matched with $100 of some of this work that we're doing, that we're talking about. A prize, this might be really elementary, but I just want to be super duper clear. A prize is you winning a prize. So for an example, a random drawing of a donation. So one of the ones we're doing is random donation will be pulled, and whoever that nonprofit that donation went to will get a prize. So again, you do nothing to do that outside of getting donations, but you don't, do anything to persuade that because it's random. So we have 5 prize categories, which equals out to being 30, 40 prizes, individual prizes. And then one match that has 2 times in the day. So it's $53,000 total. So how do matches and prizes work? The CR, the platform we use, which is called Mighty Cause, is we've already told them here, we're doing this at this time for this much money, etc. And they all set it up in the back end of their system, because I think our concern internally is, okay, if there's all this craziness, then how do we manage it? Well, we don't. Mighty Cause does, which is amazing. So they'll put in small nonprofit at this time, this much, and it'll literally just do its IT magic, right, of figuring out what happens with it. Nonprofits can advertise, like I said, as part of their campaigns, websites, email, text, social media. There are leaderboards on the main page, and there's one currently in the pre-event page, but I'll show you the event page and what the leaderboards will look like on day of. So those leaderboards, if it's most donations, whatever, you'll see, I guess that's my point, you'll see on that leaderboard the status of those things. Mighty Cause awards based on roles of a given activity, and we'll go through those piece by piece. Prizes, so this, I'm going to read this really slowly because this is, I think, the most confusing piece. Prizes and match awards, so money received out of this 53,000 are reflected in the whole San Diego Gives campaign site total. So when you go to the top of the page, which we can look at in a minute, it says how much is raised. It will be in those numbers. Prize awards are not going to be reflected in organizational totals because those prizes have to be reviewed and approved and such after the day. And some of them are based on the end of the day. You get a prize if something happened during the day, and that can't be put into day of totals, right, until later. I hope that makes sense. So just, I want to clarify that, so that, because I have a feeling on day of, and this happened last year, like, what, we just got a $250 prize. Why is it not showing up X? So that would be explaining that. We've decided there's something called offline donations, and I'm hoping we're, as a collective, we know what those are. But essentially, like, if somebody sent you a check and said, I heard about San Diego Gives on the radio, here's a check. You can't, of course, put that in as it can't be, it's on a credit card payment. So you're able to put it in as an offline donation. We've decided as a campaign, offline donations can be counted towards prizes. So, if you get a check at 10:20 and you put it in the system and there's a random drawing for a donation, that can be randomly drawn. The only thing it can't be used for is the large matches that we're doing, that I'll show you in a second, because we had a challenge last year where somebody waited till the minute the hour started and then put in a $10,000 or whatever $5,000 donation and had it doubled. And that's, again, not fair, not equitable. And so to solve that problem, one of the things we're going to do is just not allow offline donations for matches. Okay, I'm trying to decide when to stop for questions because I have a feeling we might answer them. So I'm just going to show you the rules and prize site on the website. So right now, if you go to the website, there is I can't see it, rules and prizes. So this outlines also what we're about to talk about. It outlines what prizes are available when, the hour matches, etc. So it's all outlined here, which is also available for donors, right? If they want to kind of see what they can be a part of. And then there's some rules outlined. Again, we're going to go through all this here in a second, but I just wanted to show you where it was at. And then the second thing, the next slide on the Google PowerPoint is this document. And Mitch, I will, as soon as it opens, I'll just put it in the chat whenever it opens. Of course, it waits like anything, right? It waits till you really need it, and then it won't open. Let me see if I can just open it. So in this PowerPoint, there's a slide that shows you what size you are. So when we're talking about that, some of these matches and prizes are going to be broken up in the size of your nonprofit. This shows you, sorry, you guys, this shows you what size nonprofit you have. Thank you. Finally open. It looked prettier than this a minute ago, but essentially it's got all the nonprofit names, your organizational size, and then a little legend here showing you if you're small, medium, or large. So this is all just based on how you registered. We didn't go and like look at your 990 and put you in a spot. It's based on how you registered. So when we say things here in a second, again, I'm just loading all of this up for you. You'll know whether you fit in a small, medium, or large category based on this breakdown. So let me put that in the chat. Okay. So let's get back to me attempting to run the slideshow again. Oh my gosh, what did I do the first time? This is okay, got it. Sorry. Okay. So the first thing we're doing on next Thursday is Power Hour prizes. There's going to be 3 different time spaces. So again, this is all going to be in the slideshow. Also take your notes and also on the website, but 9 to 10, the 9 to 10 o'clock hour, the 2 to 3 o'clock hour, and the 7 to 8 o'clock. So 3 different times during the day. Not only are they 3 different times of the day, but they're broken out into small, medium, and large nonprofit organizations. There'll be 2 prizes, a first place for $1,000 and a second place for $500. And again, you're competing against same size organizations. So this is where it says organizations win by most donors received in that hour. So again, if you're a $15 million organization, you got 20 donations in that hour, you're not competing maybe with someone who got 5, but they're a lot smaller. So again, just trying to be equitable. There will be 3 different priced groupings each hour. And you can only win one power hour. We set it up that way as well. So again, money can go to as many organizations as possible. The other piece here at the bottom is just that the day after the prizes will be reviewed and adjusted. And what that means is that if you can only win 1 power hour and there's more options here, slides down, we want you to win the highest power hour. So if you win second prize, but later then win first prize, then second prize will be given to the next person down and you'll take first prize, if that makes sense. So these cannot be announced or finalized till the day after when we're able to pull everything out and review everything and then make those awards. Sharon, what do you think on when to stop for questions? Because I have a feeling there are them.
Yeah, why don't we stop now?
Okay, great. Questions. So donations or donors, it says donors in the slide, just wanted to double check. So I don't know what I said and I apologize, but yeah, organizations win by most donors received in that hour, not donations. And they're all, the prizes and matches are all set up differently. So some are donors, some are donations. Again, just trying to figure out all the different ways. So you don't say, well, I didn't get that much money, but I got a lot of donations or vice versa, right? Just trying to kind of even the field. David, I see your question. Hold on just one second, or your hand up. Are the prizes determined by dollar amount or number? Again, I think just answered that. Super clear. Great. Having everything on the website. Yes. I don't think I understand how we are to communicate the match with donors. Eric, can we hold on that for a minute and come back to that? Or Sharon and Mitch, will you make sure we do? David, you had a question?
Yeah, just you might have already answered it, but I was just curious on if you win a prize as a nonprofit, are you notified during that hour or is it at the afterwards?
You will be notified the top of the next hour. There's just the right, because again, if you win 2 power hours, you're not keeping both of them.
Got it.
You only win 1 each. So there just might be some adjust. You'll be told, hey, you just won this award, and I'll show you the website in a second. It shows like, it'll show you who won what, so you'll know, and you'll, it just might be adjusted. And there's no way around that because, again, the way we set it up. And maybe next year we decide, right, David, that like, let's not do it where it's only 1 per, and it kind of alleviates that. But we just wanted, again, for like the 16th time, as many nonprofits to receive funding that way as possible.
Got it. Thank you.
Any other questions so far? Because there's more slides to go. Can you win a match and a prize? Yes. That's a good question. Sorry, the question was, can you win a match and a prize? Yes, just only 1 prize. Not to make things any more complicated than they have to be. Okay, I'm gonna keep powering on, no pun intended. Okay. So the next opportunity is random gifts. They're called golden tickets, and this is a very fuzzy golden ticket, but this is what will show up next to your name on a leaderboard. So you could see if somebody won this random gift. So these are set up literally from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. So that's what, 14 hours? Am I doing the math right? Blocks. and there's 2 prizes per block. So $250 per prize, $500 per hour total. And this is a lottery system, which I think is really cool. So this is the one I was saying earlier where the donor, it pulls a random donation. So if you get one donation during that one of those hours, or you get 50, each one is like a raffle ticket. Not really, right? But like is a pulling. So if they go and say, okay, 200 donors donated during the 8 o'clock hour, and they're doing a random pick, right? The more donations you have in there, the better. But it's literally the system, no, not a person, the system pulls a random donation. And then whoever that nonprofit is gets that $250. So all donations go into a random drawing. Donor name gift is pulled and nonprofit receives the $250. Funds are not posted to nonprofit totals, but the winners get the golden ticket icon next to their name on the leaderboard showing they won a prize. Again, this is one of those prizes, so you can only win one. You must have at least one donation in the hour to be entered. And just like I said to David, the winner's pulled at the top of the following hour. So you wait till the hour is over to then select who that is. This would be one of those ones that you really can't campaign planning, right? Outside of the fact that the more donors, the better, right? Which is the goal for everybody. We're doing something this year too called a new donor match. And this would be, because the goal of San Diego Gives is new donors, there's a button, and again, I can show you that in a second on the page. But there's going to be a spot on checkout that says, are you a new donor to this organization? Which really, again, is just ethics. You know, you'd hope that none of us in this room should be telling any of our donors to push that button, right? It's literally there for, are you a new donor? They check it. Those who check it, a prize pool will be split between eligible organizations that receive a certain amount of new donors throughout the day. So you'll see this bottom one says, minimum new donors required by nonprofit size, small is 10, medium is 15, and large is 20. So again, it's not right to say a nonprofit only needs 10 when they're larger, et cetera. So again, nothing you can do. It'll be split up on the back end. We'll see how many at the end of the day received new donors, the new donor button clicked, and that $2,000 award will be split between however many nonprofits had that minimum number. These funds won't be distributed until the October 10th checks. I have a feeling this is going to be a question that happens like September 12th, like, hey, when do I get that money? And it will be in the October 10th checks again, because it has to be gone through and reviewed and pulled and then separated. So it'll be the next disbursement. Also, because it's a prize, it's not reflected in leaderboard totals again, because it's the next day. So that one also will not show that way. I'm going to go through one more slide and then I'll stop again for questions. So this is the one we did last year. We had a lunchtime and a dinner. I think it was like, it was the morning and the afternoon, but we're going to have 2 times 12 to 1. This is really the one that you can do something about, right? And 5 to 6. So when you send out your email communication or post on social media, hey, the San Diego Gives campaign as a whole has this money available if you give right now, right? If you give during this hour. To help with the issue we had last year of one nonprofit taking all of it themselves, is that each donation is matched, or sorry, there's a donation cap of $250. So if they give you $250, you get an extra $250. They give you $1,000, you get $250. Again, equity, and spread it as far as we can. There will be $20,000 available, $10,000 per power hour. So yes. And the note here just says that that's hand monitored, so no funny business. We just really don't want a replay of what happened last year. We want to be as fair and equitable as possible. So do not do anything, I would say unethical. I'm just going to be totally just straight and forthcoming on that. Because this is extra funds, right, that were raised to help nonprofits, but not to be taken by one. I will stop screen sharing for a second for questions.
So Lauren, we had one question about, do early donations count, or how do they count?
Yes, so we actually are having a specific, 2 things. We're having a specific early bird. So anyone that donated early, there'll be an actual match or prize specific to that, but they're also, yes, a part of giving day totals, yes. Lisa? Ms. Lindgren?
So the question about the last thing, the power hour, there's $10,000 per power hour per size, I think.
Nothing,
Oh,
no,
anyway, yep, that size, it's just up to 250. So is that the first come, first matched? So when the 10,000's gone, if it's gone in 15 minutes, too bad. Is that correct?
yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you probably want to be sending out whatever emails, right? Like right at a few minutes before the hour. We have double what we had last year, but we also have triple the amount of nonprofits. But last year, again, what happened? It should go further because there's the cap. Last year, there was no cap because the sponsor that gave us the money didn't want a cap. This year, we said, sorry, you're having a cap. So, Ally.
Yes, if we have our own match set up on our page, can we still receive match during power hour?
Yeah.
Does that go on top of our match? Is that match included? How does that work?
So if you got $100 donation from a donor during a power hour that then matched to 100, another 100, and then you had your own match, you would just be 300, right?
Perfect, great.
Which would be awesome. I mean, that's
It will be awesome.
if you have a power hour, you should really be your email if you have a match, your email communication during those power hours should really be, your money will be tripled, right? During this hour. If you don't have a match yet, scramble. I'm just kidding, go get you one. Okay. In the chat. Sorry if you've already answered this. What are the actual disbursement dates for those organizations doing EFT? I don't know that it's every 2 weeks, but I don't know like September, October off the top of my head. But in theory, if October 10th was one, it would be 2 weeks before that and 2 weeks after that. So if you already have donations from San Diego Gives, they should be like, if you've already received some, they should have hit your bank account depending on when they were given. I shouldn't even say anything because now I'm confusing everybody, but whenever they're given, right, it's 2 weeks later that they're dispersed in a check. I hope that answers that. And then Nancy, so power hours are not, yes and no. There's a match power hour and then there's a different one, but yes, there are things happening during all of those hours. Truthfully, like I said, between the 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., there's things happening pretty much every hour of the day. Something happening that you can be a part of. Sharon?
Yeah, so I'll just add to that too. So rather than just repeating the hours here, because that's why we're having this. So
Right.
what I would just suggest it, we're going to send everybody the slides and just print it out and have it next to you. And let's just, as much information as we can, not, that we don't have to necessarily, I don't mind repeating some stuff, but try
My
to.
concern over repeating things, Sharon, is then it gets confusing, and that's why
Well,
I don't.
Yeah, it's confusing, and also we have limited time to answer everybody. I'll be honest about that. So yeah.
So Leech Check is really, really great about getting me the YouTube video or the link to upload within, minutes. Mitch is amazing. So it should be up, like I said, tonight or tomorrow morning. And I'm East Coast time. So if it's tomorrow morning, it's before you even wake up. So by first thing tomorrow, hopefully it'll be uploaded. Okay, I'm gonna go back to sharing screen. Okay, so there's two other options. I don't know if anyone's doing the math or adding things up as they go, but we've got two other things that are happening that are kind of smaller. I just realized this is confusing because it says based on most donors at the bottom. So disregard that line and I'll fix it before it gets uploaded. So there'll be a main leaderboard, which would be most donors. So again, small, medium, large, separate, $1,000 each. So at the end of the day or the end of the 8th, whoever has the most donors total from the whole campaign broken up into small, medium, large will receive $1,000. And then there's early giving superstar. So that would be July 16th through September 7th. The most dollars raised, $1,000, again, broken up in nonprofits, but 1,000. Because again, we've received 60-something thousand dollars in early giving. So that is remarkable. And we just didn't want to miss the opportunity to prize that as well. And again, I'll fix the bottom. I apologize. So like I said, how do you participate? Utilize matches and prizes, write your campaign planning, share the timing of them, of course. Advertise as part of your campaign, which is really what I just said again, and I'm sorry about that. Funds will be, and again, your October 10th disbursement. I just have a real feeling that we're going to get a ton of emails saying, wait, when do I get that? So October 10th, October 10th, October 10th, October 10th. Okay, that is all I have. So let me screen share. Like reminding myself all of a sudden how to do that. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, let me. Sharon, do you want to?
Yeah. So
yeah.
I think, so just to be sure that we're getting all the questions in the chat. So going up from Shona's at the bottom. So are people planning to send 5 emails to the 3 most donor power hours and the 2 match power hours? I guess this goes back to Eric's question in communications.
I mean, I think that question really is collectively to everybody, right? Because that would just be based on what we wanted to give you the data to do what you will with it. What does it mean? Because that's a lot of emails and you don't want people unsubscribing, right? Do you send it in the morning? Do you do social media, right? I mean, that's really, yes, up to you guys. I think if you send whatever big email, right, and then it's kind of like, hey, we'll send you updates throughout the day and you let them, and it's just a quick email that says give now and there's a power hour, right? You guys know your people best. Gretchen said, to clarify, is $250 the max per agency per power hour? That's a good question. It is $250 per donation. But again, be nice, please. We will, just to say, we will on the 9th, when we go through the prizes, if it looks like somebody, I don't know, I don't even know how you would, but if it looks something silly, like funny that happened that shouldn't have happened because you somehow asked all 10 of your neighbors to go on different computers, don't do that. And if you do it and it looks like it, we'll come email you on Friday and say, you're not getting, you know what I mean? Like, it's just really, this is not a place to like, how much money can I get? I know it is the goal in the end, but let's not act like it with this money, please. Sorry if that sounds really not very nice.
Perfect.
Allie, do you have another question? Nope. Karen? Karen Cook, do you have?
Yes, I'm so sorry. My apologies. I was confused on the main leaderboard awards. You said that it's divided by org size and it's going to be $1,000 for those who make it onto the leaderboard. Is that what you meant?
Sorry. The most leaderboard would be the most donors throughout the whole, so on the main leaderboard, if you look at it, I can pull it up, it'll say, right, it says number of donors. So it's just going to be the one, this one won't be split. Again, they're all like, that was the reason for the webinar, was to hopefully encourage less confusion. But that one would just be one person that receives whoever had the most donors for the day based on those. So if you're a small nonprofit and you had 50 donors for the whole campaign and you were the one with the most, then you would get that $1,000.
Okay, that makes so much more sense. Thank you.
Oh, good. I thought you were going to be like, okay, I still have no idea.
No, I got it. Thank you.
Let me real quick too, because I said I'd show you the leaderboards. So this is what the page will look like day of. It'll have, which I love, this little ticker here that will go up as the day goes. So last year I just sat there for a little bit and just stared at it, you know, as it just went up, and it tells you how many donors. If you go down the page to where the regular leaderboard is now, like this is what the leaderboard looks like currently. There will also be a most donors leaderboard, see small, medium, and large. So that'll, it's not active now because it's not September 8th, but that will be active. And then over here, there's the golden ticket winners. So too, this, you know, the 9 o'clock hour after, or the 8 o'clock hour, when it's 9 o'clock, then it'll show who the winner was, what nonprofit was the winner of that as well. I think that was what I was going to show you. So yes, this will be, last year, I think one of the coolest things was people just checking this leaderboard all day long to see where they were at, right? If you have a friendly nonprofit you're friends with, to be like, oh, I'm ahead of you. Now I'm, you know, that might even be a tool of getting donations right to your board or whoever, like, hey, we were 1 or we were 2 and now we're 3. So let's get above BIPOC, who is amazing. It just has like, they need to teach a class next year on what they're doing for their 130 donation or donors so far. Karen, the leaderboard now is in the same, here, not to like give everyone whiplash. But the leaderboard on, like, if you go to the website right this very moment, the only thing that's there currently is just the main leaderboard. And so it's just on SanDiegoGives.org, just down the page a little bit before you get to all the many, many sponsors that we, that's where you find that. Yeah, so Serena, where will they find the information? Yeah, you'll share it with them. And then also, like I said, the website on that prizes page will show all the details. So yeah, if you also link people to that page, they can see exactly what's happening for who when.
I think also, pardon, we're going to be doing, posts throughout the day. Here, Leech Tag Foundation is, the Rancho Santa Fe Foundation, San Diego Foundation are going to help also, because we know you'll all be posting your own. So we're going to be posting for the overall campaign and doing Facebook Live. I'm trying to get a few of the other sponsors who are not also participants to help. So there will be, additional, posting and all that goes out. I think Karen Cook had another question.
Yes, thank you. Okay, now I'm a little bit confused. My apologies. But for the main leaderboard, I thought what was said was that the number of donors, not the amount raised. Is that correct? Because I'm looking at the leaderboard and it's done by, like, the number one is done by how much is raised. So would there be like a separate leaderboard with whoever had the most donors, or how would we know?
Yeah, I can double check. I'm just looking at it now. The main leaderboard is done by, you might have to, okay, so in this slideshow, it's most donors, but you're saying somewhere else it says most donations?
Oh, I interpreted what you said as most donations. It is most donors, correct?
Yes, for the main leaderboard, yes.
But I'm looking at the leaderboard, and the leaderboard, the number one is based on the amount raised, not the most donors.
Yes, that's just how I think the leaderboard, I mean, I think for most nonprofits, they look at it like if you were to look at it today to see where you're at, you would want to see by raised, right? Because that's the point. I mean, I think that matters the most.
No.
But they're going to take that list. I can ask her too if she can do one that's in donor order, you know what I mean, versus raised money order.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, how would you know, like, where you're at
Gotcha.
in advance, since you probably don't want to be scrolling throughout the entire leaderboard to find, and yeah, just wondering. Thank you.
That's a good question. I'll ask to see if there's a way to do that as well, and or.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Love all these prizes, matches, shout to. Okay. If a donor sends a check to us, and ask that it can be used as a match, how can we do that? Yes. It was one of the things I wanted to talk about today too, because again, I think I'm going to give everybody whiplash, but I can show you. You would list them as a match on so if you go to your portal or your organization page, I'll just show you on Urban Core's page. And you go to fundraising tools, there's a spot, gosh, hate that. Okay, I'm done. That says matching grants, and you would create one here in the match manager, where you could put the details on it, their logo, how the match is to be used. And if they send you a check, then you want to keep this box clicked right here. It says include match value and page metrics. All that means is that you already have the money, versus I think some match donors who would say, once you meet your match, I will send you the money, or I'll go online and pay for it. Does that make sense? So if it's a check and you already have it, and if you have matches already set up, then you guys just double check that it's the right way. So if the money you already have in your hand, this box is checked. If you will only get the money when you tell the donor, right, the day of, like, oh, hey, we just met our match, they're okay, I'll go pay, then you would unclick it. And that all just says essentially, when's the money added? You know, when does the money actually hit the bank? Let me. It looks like donation sponsors are listed. Will we be able to identify sponsors who provide funds so that we can share? And that's a great question, maybe for you to help answer.
I'm sorry, say again.
Pamela's question about the donation sponsors are listed. So can they thank that sponsor? I would say no.
We'll be able to identify, oh, I don't,
Or
I
some-
mean, why don't we just, I guess, I'm not sure is my
Yeah.
answer. And I'd love for you to be able to cultivate relationships with them if you can. So why don't we just, could we just table that to the day of, and then let's see what happens? And I will reach out to sponsors individually and see if that's okay. So we'll put that on the list. It's a good question.
It appears that the leaderboard does not factor in matching gifts. Is that correct? Our org's match is being, my org's match is being counted on my organization page, but not on the leaderboard.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think through your question. I feel like this is like this whole, let me follow up with you on that because it should be. So I'm going to copy and paste your question specific, like into a Word document so I can follow up on that. And so when Sharon sends her email later this week, we'll make sure the answer to that is in that email.
Yeah.
Does the donations to a future campaign get yes to the added total? Yes. Also, one of our early donations in the campaign, in the future campaign, is not showing presently. Great. I will also add that to my list for Mighty Cause and make sure I get the answer to that when Sharon sends out her email this week. Thanks, Sally.
I have a question.
Sorry, yes.
I looked at the leaderboard and the leaderboard total for our organization is incorrect. I know for certain that we have more money than the leaderboard is showing that we have.
Okay. Diana, what is the name of your organization so I can check it specifically, but also check collectively to see?
Assistance League of Inland North County.
Thank you. Okay. Diana, I'll get back to you on that. Any other questions? Oh yeah, we got to answer your other question too, Eric. I'm not sure if this is all right. Is it possible to change the donation amounts available to the donors on our page? Yes. So if you go into your organizational profile again, I don't know how much whiplash everybody wants, but I can easily show you where to do that. Let me just, okay. So if you go to, again, you log in and you go down to donation form, and then you click on, you go to checkout and then it'll be donation form. It allows you to edit. You see these little pencils. So mine was $25 a month, but then I said to pay for safety gloves for 10 core members, right? I added information. So you can change the amount and you can change, you know, whatever words under it. Yes. Okay. Kathleen, what's your organization as well? I have a feeling it might all be the same answer, but I'd rather have as much details as I can to then go look at it. And then I think, Eric, your original question was, was how to advertise, I think. And I think we've answered that. Brother Bento.
I also wanted to say too, in the email for this week, we've also prepared a flyer for donors, which has all of the highlights of the campaign from a donor's perspective. And so you this will be included as an attachment, whenever, we send this the next day or two, and you're welcome to share this with donors also, or somebody had messaged in the chat, could you share with merchants, or absolutely, this is to, it's really written from perspective of like making sure that people feel confident in this, campaign, and the different ways you can contribute, that all of the nonprofits have been vetted, all of that kind of thing. So we will have that too. I'm not sure, I don't think that one has the QR code on it, but you can share the flyer. And that's the best. We're not taking on any more new marketing things now. So, with all love and respect, we're really, there's a lot of stuff that we're doing. So if anybody wants to volunteer to do that, we'd love to have you. So
that'll be a part of that. Yeah, sorry, Susan, can you clarify what you mean by, you said, what is the title for matching gifts? How is this different than naming matching?
Yeah, when you're entering a matching grant, there are two lines. One says title and one says the name of the sponsor for the matching grant. So I'm not just wondering how it shows up and should we name it Power Hour or something like that also, or should we just repeat the name of the sponsor or donor?
Yeah, let me see. We have matching already set. Were you going to answer that? Sharon, I don't know if I cut you off.
Nope.
Okay, so here's some matches already set up in the system. Yeah, so it looks like, well, and I would question myself too, to go back into mine to see what I put on what line. So I've got help. Yeah, so
that is really nice. Thank you.
Oops. Go into it. And there is a spot too when you go to the Find Your Cause button, which is why I love I'm sorry. If you go to Find Your Cause, donors can actually go and just search for people who have matches. I mean, it's its own little button here, which is pretty awesome. So like if you have a match donation, you just went from 327 nonprofits to 12. And then if you say, well, I really want to give to organizations, arts and culture organization, there's none. You know what I mean? So like you could, anyway, I just think it's cool that the button's there. So if you have a match or can get a match, I would definitely add it. This is also a cool new thing too. If you gave last year, if they're logged in with their same email address and they hit give again, it'll take them straight to, well, not right now, but it'll take them straight to their checkout from last year, and it'll even say, do you want to increase your gift by 20%? Yes, and it automatically changes it for them. San Diego Gives has been sending out those emails right now to like their special links. Participated last year and you've already gotten donations from a donor that gave last year, it might be because they received that Give Again email that said, hey, you gave last year, do you want to just refill your card again with the same thing you did last year? Jonathan, after September 7th, yes, you'll be able to use the same link for future donations through Mighty Cause, which is a great use of that. If you don't have a CRM system, you can use it, which is awesome. Groundwork San Diego, Choice Creek, our matching donation. Oh, okay. This will be a piece of our meeting. I'm really grateful, right? Because you think something works the way that you think it does, or you know it does, and it might just be that I don't understand and or it needs to be fixed, but I'm grateful that you guys are saying it or bringing it up. Any other questions?
I just want to thank you, Lauren. Incredible, because I mean, Lauren's spending a lot of time going back and forth with Mighty Cause and getting these kinks worked out, and it's really beyond. So thank you very much.
And like I said, thank you, Sharon. I think, like I said, we're now calling each other sisters, and we barely knew each other a year ago. So there's been a lot, like to the point where my kids have their own nickname for her, and they hear her voice and know it's her. So there's been a lot of. Did you hear Josh Sharon? He just said Sharon.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, part of the thanks into this year would be great to have, like I said, when those nonprofit surveys go out, those are hugely helpful. That's not a word, to figuring out what we do next year. So please take the time to respond to that and send it in.
I have a quick question. On the thing you just showed where you can go and choose your cause and then look for people with a match. I just did that and our organization did not come up.
You're saying it all.
Yeah, under the match, that search.
Oh yeah. So you have set up a match?
Yes,
Well, let me double check that what's the name of the organization, Lori?
the Innocent Justice Foundation.
See, and these are the reasons why too, at the top of the hour, we said things like, go back through your profile and double check, right? Like, cause then you find things like, oh, wait, that's not right. Or that should be showing up and it's not. I will check on that, Lori, and I'll get back to you as well. I added it to my list. It might be either that it's not yet active or it didn't get, but I'll check.
Well, it's working on our page. Like we have a couple of
Okay.
early donations and it's showing that we're applying toward that match, but it didn't come up when I searched. I didn't know you could search by matches, so I just went and tried it. So
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like we have the same with the Boys and Girls Club of Vista. I don't know if you saw Susan's note.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm adding it to my big old list.
Yeah, if you look at this afterwards, we end the call, just let us know and we can follow up. This is when I use the royal we, because Lauren is gonna follow up. This is my husband when I'm like, always like, yeah, we need to clean the kitchen, and it's him who needs to clean the kitchen.
Yes.
Like, isn't that nice? And
Yes.
royal we.
Okay, you guys, well, you know how to reach. I'm gonna just put those two websites again in the chat so that you are the email addresses. So please use them and let us know. And looking forward to next Thursday.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Have a great rest of your Mondays.
Thank you.